sorry for the poor lighting. This was not a planned recording. We've been having some really high winds here today, and some of you may know that 90% of the trees on this property are alders. They're over 100 feet tall, they're very thin, very flimsy, and also very brittle. So we actually kind of went towards the road, sat in the truck, and was just kind of waiting out the windstorm. Wind was dying down, so we decided, okay, it's safe enough, we'll come back. And when we came back, Garnet just happened to notice something caught his eye, and what he saw was cracking in the earth. Sorry about that, I had to help get the trailer out of the way. Everything's a little bit rushed, so this isn't the greatest video at all, but anyways. So there's a shot behind me. There's a tree that's falling down, and I'll give you kind of a idea of how bad. The tree's coming down regardless. If we take it down, or it's gonna fall on its own, and unfortunately we're having to choose, does it fall on the shop or does it fall on our garden? And we're gonna have to sacrifice our garden in order to have, you know, safety and no barn. So anyways, here is the tree, and this is what Garnet had noticed, not the dogs, but all of this cracking all along here and this upheaval, this mound wasn't this dramatic earlier today. So that's a tree. It's over 100 feet tall. Oops, sorry, it's not even in the frame. It's over 100 feet tall, and in some of the video that I do have of the windstorm, you can see how much this tree was actually flexing over. So it's going. Don't go that way. Oh, fuck. There it goes. Beauty job, babe. Okay, so that was a little bit of anxiety for me because it actually, the wind picked up a little bit and it did start to shift over to the right. And that's where the shock was, but he had it wedged well enough that it did, end up just going over the garden, and I think the only thing that we lost was some onions and some peas, so not the end of the world. It's crazy. I just hear all the branches snapping and falling. It's not just it blows them in one direction, they like whip all the way around. So here's an example of what falls from these trees when it gets windy, and it's pretty scary when you think about it. Let's see if I can even get it out of the ground. Yeah, so I had to pull really, really hard to get that out of that hole. And sometimes when it gets really, really windy, I will go stand in an outbuilding, or I will go in the truck, because that's, to me, is what nightmares are made out of.